I'm really pleased to have here with me Tachi-san of MLIT, who, along with Okasumi-san, who I'll just look at directly, I want to thank again for all of their help setting up and thinking through the ways in which we were going to address the four sort of key questions that we came into the week thinking about. And I think it was really great the way that we were able to see from Koike Sensei just thinking through the ways in which this is about trying to solve some of these key development challenges. And I think the part about economic analysis and connecting back to this idea that this is part of the twin goals of the World Bank as well, where we have shared prosperity and reduction of poverty as our dual mandate. And I think connecting back to how much this is part of the critical development path of the different countries is really important. But again, understanding that this is an evolving approach that Japan has taken on, that this is one in which it requires planning, data, and a lot of thought and assessment about what steps to take and the structural and non-structural measures that could be taken. So Tachi-san, can you talk to us a little bit about some of your takeaways from the week and how you think about some of the takeaways of our presenters so far? Oh, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Kenichiro Tachi from the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, which is in charge of the flood risk management in Japan. And actually, I myself have been deeply dipped in this society, in this the flood risk management society in Japan. So for the past 4 days, I've experienced a very good discussion, which inspires me a lot to learn, about myself or ourselves with regard to the flood management. And I'm really impressed and enjoyed your takeaways from the participants from here and Vietnam and Solomon Islands. And so let me add some of my takeaways or my observations in the past 4 days. Actually, my first impression was how our experience is very important to contribute to other countries, because we have preceded other countries more than 30, 40, 50 years in terms of rapid urbanization. So the experience and knowledge accumulated through the process is very important, including the failures or the success, whatever we have experienced. And I think some of the important things I think is the experience of the innovating new approaches in the process of the dealing with the rapid urbanization in the 1970s, 80s. Japan has experienced since 1950s rapid urbanization. So it caused a rapid increase of runoff to rivers, and also as well as the increase of biodiversity through the development of the catchment area. So what we introduced was so-called integrated flood control management, or flood control system, I think. And it consists, not only through the engineering approaches within the catchment river channels, but also we apply the integrated approaches to the whole basin to control the runoff through the incorporation of the various stakeholders, including the various levels of government. So I think in some parts it was successful, but we are still on the way to achieve our first goal. So it's still a big challenge for us as well. But in order to achieve the goal of controlling the urban flood disaster, I think some of the key factors I'd like to mention, we have in Japan. One is the institutional arrangement. I'm talking about some of the prerequisites to implement the integrated approaches to the urban flood risk management. And the first thing is the institutional or legal arrangement. And one of the things I found which is very important, or which is very advanced in Japan, is a kind of clear definition of responsibilities, who should do what. Although I understand that the systems are different from country to country, but we have the ones who call the river administrators or river managers, or the entity who are responsible for the overall management of rivers. So in the case of the large rivers, it's MLIT, or the central government, and for smaller rivers, the prefecture government. So they are all responsible for the river management, including the flood control. So they are obliged, or they are mandated to coordinate or negotiate with other stakeholders, including the private sectors and the residents, and so on. So that kind of system, the clear definition of the responsible entity as the responsible of the other entities is a very important key for success to implement the kind of integrated approach in the urban rivers. And also, other aspect I found very important is the concept of maintenance and operation. When I heard about the discussion between the participants in the past 4 days, lots of countries say that they haven't established a system for maintenance and operation. But I think without the establishment maintenance operation, including the financial system, we cannot achieve acquire the sustainability of the implementation of the approaches. So I think it is a quite important point to establish such a system for maintenance and operation. Well, although so far I haven't found the best answer for this, but I think it is a very important point. And well, in the future, when we implement some support to other countries, I think we have to always think about that aspect to introduce maintenance and operation. Okay, and lastly, I'm really convinced that the Japanese experience and knowledge can really contribute to the other countries' introduction of integrated approaches to the urban flood management. So, last time, let me say thank you to the guys from the World Bank. It's been a very inspiring week. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tachi-san. Well, you've now heard us. Now it's time for us to hear from you. We've got the the group under I believe it's Sakura. Is that the right word? Anyway, this was our large group and some of our partners as we visited the Koto Flood Control Center. So again, you've heard from us. We really want to hear from you, particularly as we think through some of the ways in which we're going to follow up with our clients going forward. The action planning that Sukugoshi-san mentioned in his introduction, again, it's important for us as we work as the disaster risk management hub here, and also working with TDLC, thinking through what are the kinds of knowledge resources that our clients have asked for and how we can support them to have them, and support them with the technical assistance so that they can continue to work on some of the projects that they've laid out for you today and that they laid out over the last 4 days with us here in this very room and in our site visits. So please, if you have a question for any member of our panel, please just introduce yourself. And please, if you have a specific person that the question's directed to,